He's the best professional athlete in the entire Bay Area. Yet most people know very little about Joe Thornton and what he brings to the San Jose Sharks. It all started with his two older brothers that could skate like the wind and a father that loved ice hockey.
I had two older brothers that loved to play hockey, and up in Canada it gets so cold there in the wintertime, so you always have a fresh sheet of ice to play on and so many little rinks and little lakes to play on. So my dad just built the backyard rink for my two older brothers, and there I was, the youngest son, so automatically I played hockey with my older brothers.
Lessons learned on the ice in St. Thomas while playing with his brothers have translated into greatness in the NHL. Drafted first overall in the 1997 NHL draft by Boston, he played 7 full seasons for the Bruins before getting traded and heading west. At 6'4" and 235 pounds, it looks like he was carved out of granite. But he also is an extraordinary passer that, when called upon, will put the biscuit in the basket.
Racing, he zipped it wide. Garnett got back. Rebound loose. Fires it home.
San Jose Sharks center Joe Thornton is one of the premier players in the NHL. Following the 2005-2006 season, he was named the NHL's most valuable player, and he was awarded the Hart Memorial Trophy. Now in his 11th season, and at age 29, Thornton continues to put up numbers that make him a likely candidate eventually for the Hall of Fame. However, Thornton downplays the notion that he was always a dominating player. In fact, more than anything, the key to Thornton's success is simply his work ethic and a passion for hockey that has never left him.
I wouldn't say the best player. I was always a good player. There was different divisions to play on, AAA, AA, single A. I was always AA, so it was just kind of in the middle of good hockey and great hockey. So I wasn't always the best. I just worked hard, and I loved the game though.
And Roenick now, Roenick with a steal, and he scores! Jeremy Roenick comes.
Teammate Jeremy Roenick has played in the league for a remarkable 20 seasons. A 9-time NHL All-Star over the course of his own exceptional career, even a hardened veteran like Roenick is impressed with what Thornton brings to the ice.
I think for one, his size and strength, he's by far one of the biggest guys in the ice, day in and day out. Then when you input the talent that he has, his vision, the way he controls the puck, and his ability to pass the puck, he's a tremendous dominating player of the game. He's very difficult to hit. He's very difficult to knock off the puck, and his talent is so, for a big man, is so incredible. So, he just loves the game. He's passionate about it, and that's a hard thing to have to stop when you have a guy that loves to play the game and can dominate it at any time of a game.
Over the course of his long star-studded career, Roenick has played with and against some of the NHL's all-time greats. Roenick doesn't really like comparing players from different eras. However, 3 names jump out when you ask the longtime center just who Thornton reminds him of.
He has so many different kinds of player in him. He's tough. He can play hard and hit hard. When he gets mad, he can play like a Wendell Clark in terms of how mean he was. Wendell was. He passes like Gretzky. He sets up guys like Gretzky. His creativity is impeccable, but he can also score goals, and you don't see very many guys like that. Mario, Wayne, guys of that nature. Not putting Jumbo on their level, but I don't think there's many guys that are as close to their level as Joe is.
One of the beneficiaries of Thornton's skill on the ice and his ability to pass the puck has been 20-year-old Devin Setoguchi. Now in his first full season with the Sharks, Setoguchi finds himself skating on San Jose's top line with the team captain Patrick Marleau and the omnipresent Mr. Thornton. Just a few years ago, Devin was watching these guys on television. Now they form one of the best lines in the NHL.
It's great. I mean, not only Joe, I get to play with Patrick Marleau too, but Joe's considered one of the best passers in the world. So, that he's going to be out there and he's going to be playing, to the top of his game every night. So, it's been exciting for myself to get out there and play with them for the first 20 games, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. Watch Joe and Patty grow up playing, and they're about 9 years older than I am, which seems weird, but they've been in the league for about 10, 11 years now, and for me to be here, kind of living my dream and playing with great players like that, it's pretty cool.
He can skate, he can shoot, he can score, and he certainly can pass. But the one intangible that Joe Thornton brings to the San Jose Sharks is leadership.
You can't win without leadership. There's no question. In pro sports, you cannot win without someone taking the bull by the horns or leading a charge or kicking somebody in the ass when they need to get their act going. Leadership is number one in terms of pro sports.
There's lots of different leaders, I think, in hockey. There's some leaders that go out and lead by example, and there's leaders that like to talk a lot in the locker room. So there's a different kind of leadership. I think in our dressing room we have both kinds of leaders, guys that go out and show what they can do on the ice, and then guys that step up in the room. So there's all different avenues of leadership, and I think we cover them all here in San Jose.
Number 19 has become a very wealthy young man playing in the NHL, and he's had more than his share of individual honors. However, there's always been one thing that has always fueled Joe Thornton's fire, even when he was a little boy growing up in Canada.
Win the Stanley Cup. That's why you play the game. You start day one, and that's your goal, is to win the Stanley Cup. But it's such a long season. You really can't focus in on that. First, you got to focus in on the next game. There's 82 games to play, so it is a long season. And then once the postseason comes, there's 4 rounds to get through. But that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day. You want to be a Stanley Cup champion.
Here's Thornton still on the ice. Over to Clough. Ryan waits. Thornton, they score! Joe Thornton!